I'm Ariana Grande.
Hi, I'm Cynthia Erivo.
And you're listening to the Broadway Podcast Network.
Visit bpm.fm to discover more.
Hi, I'm Sarah Killough. Welcome to the Theater Podcast with Alan Seals.
Good afternoon, good evening, good generic time of the day, podcast listener. This is the Theater Podcast with Alan Seals, and I am your host, Alan Seals. And today's guest is Sarah Killough, a vibrant, witty performer currently starring in Harry Potter and the Cursed Child on Broadway as Ginny. She is also a talented musician, a dialect chameleon, and an audition room pro who somehow manages to balance her own onstage show schedule 8 times a week with helping others. Because she is still actually doing reading. She will read for auditions still to this day. She opens up about her Minnesota roots, her early start in music, the unexpected path that led her to Broadway. I don't know. At this point, is any path expected anymore? It's all just kind of whatever works. So being an audition reader, actually, she puts it, kind of became her secret weapon. And we also nerd out a little bit about accents, dive into her love for Harry Potter, of course, and hear what it means to truly become the book Ginny that fans adore. And as we both agree, the Ginny in the books didn't really get enough of a role, so it's nice to expand on Ginny here on on stage. And if you haven't already, make sure to follow me on Instagram and TikTok. Check out Patreon and Spotify for the video version of this interview. And also, a side note, you've heard me say it in past episodes of this takeover, which were all recorded around the same time. I had a little shelf to the face construction accident, and this episode with Sarah is like the day after it happened. So I've got this giant bandage on my forehead. So you can see that if you're watching the video. Anyway, we still had a good chat. Enjoy this episode now with Sarah Killough.
Here you go. 1, 2, 3.
Today's guest comes to us straight from the stage of Hogwarts after performances in Broadway's Leopoldstadt, the Lehman Trilogy, Travesties, and Long Day's Journey into Night. She is a talented musician and dancer, proficient in stage combat, and can mimic almost any dialect needed, according to her. We'll test this out. A truly multifaceted, wow, I can't read today. She has 2 faces, 3 faces? We'll see. Multifaceted artist. She can be found on stage as Ginny Potter in Harry Potter and the Cursed Child on Broadway. Sarah Killough, welcome to the Theater Podcast.
Thank you.
But the proper pronunciation of your last name, of course, Killough, Scottish.
Killough, technically, yeah.
So give me a Scottish accent then. Tell me about your family.
Great. My family. Well, no, this is not going to be good. I can do great. That's what I got right now. Yeah, I have had to do it before, but currently I'm not in that world.
But do you have to warm up every day? You just go and be like I had to do an Irish accent once, and I'd always have to just start. It was like tar. Okay, now we have to go. You're like
I would do for Irish. I do like doity. Like, just keep going. It's so offensive.
Lost all of our Irish and Scottish listeners.
But currently, I'm just doing a British accent, so.
Fair.
That's what I'm focusing on.
All of you actually can do. The British accents are really incredible. Actually, do you have in Harry Potter? Do you have a dialect coach you work with, or you just
have
to come
a dialect
in and
coach?
Yeah?
Yes, Liz Hayes is our dialect coach, and then there are 2 Brits in the company, and then I'm also the vocal captain. So I lead a vocal warm up every day after our physical warm up, and so I am supposed to be in charge of. Reminding people of sounds, not giving notes or anything like that. But
reminding people of sounds.
Reminding people of sounds. Yeah.
So Harry, my kids, I don't know, they saw something on like YouTube, like bottle of water. They go around saying bottle of water.
There you go.
And I'm like, guys, don't say that in front of anybody who actually is British, but like at home, it's kind of funny.
I know, but I have to say all my lines to a Brit, so I'm hoping I'm good enough. I don't know.
Well, so your family lineage seems to be from Scotland, but like, is that where you grew up? Where did you actually start?
No, I grew
from?
up in northern Minnesota, so my natural accent has a lot of hard O's.
Well, I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Like if I was going to talk to my mom, it would sound more like this.
Do you slip back into that by accident?
When I talk to my mom, yeah.
You say mom, you can't say mom without saying ma'am. Yeah, ma'am.
Yeah, it's flatter. Yeah.
Did she come to? Has she come see you at the show and
She
been
has.
like,
Yeah, she has.
You're like, oh, Sarah, that's quite impressive there.
Hers isn't as strong as as some people that I grew up with, but and my dad's not from Minnesota, so I don't know. I feel like I have an ear for different sounds, but yeah, hers isn't super strong. But every so often, she'll have a word that will just make me giggle because it's the sound of home.
Did you grow up realizing that she kind of talked different from the status quo?
No, because I did too.
Did you? Yeah.
I had a cousin once who's from Philly, and she was like, "Why do you say no like that?"
No.
I was like, "What do you mean?" She was like, "You say no." So that's still, it could come out. It's still there.
That's fair. I
Yeah.
talked to friends in North Carolina where I spent my formidable teenage years, and I'll slip into the has and the buys, and
Yeah, sure.
like without realizing it.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, I just am talking Southern again. So then, when you were doing, I guess when you were in Minnesota,
Yeah.
where did you start getting into performing? Was it singing, acting, dancing? Which came first?
Singing came first. My parents sang. They're both they're in the church choir where they met, and they are in a professional choir together. I grew up singing in church, and then my sister and I were both required to take piano lessons. And then by the time we were in 5th grade, we had to add a second instrument. So I played the oboe. Very
Oboe?
classic. Yeah.
How do you just all of a sudden, how do you choose the oboe?
That was hard. I was the youngest cousin, and a lot of my cousins all play instruments as well. So I tried to pick an instrument that no one else played. And truthfully, true story is, my mother told me that oboe players are good kissers. So that sealed the deal.
Huh. And have you had confirmation of said?
I haven't had negative confirm. I haven't. No one's ever said, "You're not a real oboe player."
That's how they classify it. Like, I can tell you're not very good.
But you
at
said
oboe.
you played the oboe. Yeah. That's never happened. Not yet. So
what? I'm trying to think of instruments that would be definitely bad. Like, let's see, sax, anything. I guess woodwind, right? But,
yeah.
But the trumpet, that's maybe that's.
I mean,
a
but like
different
you have
experience.
such control over your lips. Maybe I don't know.
Anyway, well,
I never went to band camp, so
just
I
took
don't
a
have
really weird turn.
scientific knowledge of this. We're talking
Fair.
in code. It's fine. It's fine.
Let's go.
Yeah.
So then, when you were learning to be a great oboe player,
Yes.
as a young Sarah,
Yes.
you were getting at any point, like you said, you were required to take instruments, which would mean you either like hate it or because I gotta take this
I
instrument.
hated practicing, but I liked playing.
So then, where did you start to kind of fall into this path of like,
Theater?
I really kind of want to do this?
Yeah. There were plays that we did in church, but then in middle school, starting in 5th grade, there was a big middle school musical every year. And I auditioned because I was into it. And I got cast as Ringo Starr in Rock, the musical, The History of Rock and Roll. And it was
Ringo?
Yeah, I was Ringo. I had to mime drumming. Clearly, I typecast, but also
red hair, female.
Yeah,
sure,
no, we were
sure,
wigged.
Sure. Yeah.
We were
Oh,
wigged.
Okay.
We had big moppy wigs. But my mom's brother is a professional actor, and his wife. They're both professional actors in Minneapolis. So I grew up seeing them in shows since I was very little. I think the first professional show I saw was Christmas Carol, which I was terrified of. But then we saw him do Midsummer and all sorts of. We saw a lot of theater.
Can you be a regular professional working actor in Minnesota in that area? Yeah.
Yes.
Really?
That's all they've had side jobs, but they have been working actors my whole life.
That's cool.
Yeah.
There you go. So you don't
now
have to
their
move to New
daughter is
York
an actor
or-
there. She
okay.
has her own theater company. She produces Shakespeare every summer, and I've seen the shows, and they're really, really good. So
Wow.
kind of cool. It's a
Okay,
whole
so then
dynasty. We have a dynasty. Yeah.
the dynasty,
Yeah.
dynasty of theater in Minnesota.
Yeah.
Is this particular character of mine has a
Yes,
very
exactly.
big walrus mustache.
Of course. Exactly.
Yes, which I'd make an oboe joke. Woo. Okay. So then you are seeing Christmas Carol, friends of professional actors, and at any point where you're like, maybe I'll do rocket science, maybe I'll study astrophysics, maybe I'll be a gardener.
I think there was a time when I was really young where I wanted to be a vet because I liked animals. But I think I've wanted to be an actor since like 3rd or 4th grade.
What drew you to it? Like the acting portion?
Well, I wouldn't say I knew how to act back then, but like the performing, I liked performing. So I would sing a lot in church or at school. I liked being, I don't know, who doesn't like being told they're good at something? So that was kind of nice.
That's fair.
Yeah.
So are you then?
That was loud.
Are you? Okay, so I'm speaking to myself. Who doesn't like being told they're good at something? Okay, I want to, like the back of my head said, Alan, you suck. You wouldn't like that. Like at the front of my head, the front portion says, great, yeah, tell me everything I'm good at. I need to hear it. But the back portion is like, well, it doesn't matter. You're not actually good at it. And that's what requires me to need, that's what requires me to need to continue to hear it. Because I'm always fighting against that.
I think when I was a child, I didn't have that doubt for some reason. Maybe my parents were just really nice, but I had my grandmother who lived very close to us. She really valued the performing arts. So I had a lot of positive affirmations from the outside.
Good.
Saying, you can do this.
Well,
and then,
okay.
So I was in public school through middle school and my first 2 years of high school. I played the lead in my high school musical as a sophomore. I played the lead in a community theater production that same year. And there wasn't professional theater in my town. And then a classmate in high school told me about a boarding school in Michigan where you could major in acting as a high school student. And so I then found and applied and was accepted to Interlochen in outside of Traverse City, Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then the rest
is
that's history.
That's where I learned how to act. I did not know how to act before that. No.
But you thought you did. You thought you did. Everybody thought you did that.
Definitely thought
at that point. Yeah.
But I did it. I remember a scene at Interlochen when I was in an acting class, and there was a comic line, and I delivered the line, and my teacher laughed, and I stopped, and I went, "What?" And she was like, "It's funny. You just keep going." And I was so amazed by it that like it worked.
Wait a second. I am good. I am good. I can do this.
Well, I could do this. Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Again,
okay.
More people telling me I was okay at it. So.
And okay, so then you're Interlochen and let's see. So then Duluth Playhouse, let's see, notably performing in Les Mis around 2014, says the internet.
Yeah.
And then 2014, we are now in 2025. So that's 9-ish years ago. And when did you make your leap over to New York? Because you've already been in some amazing productions, all comedies like Leopoldstadt and Lehman Trilogy and things, right?
Travesties of the comedy. I went to college at the Hart School at the University of Hartford. So I decided when I was applying for schools, it came down to 2 schools. It came down to the Hart School and the Guthrie program at the University of Minnesota, because that was an in-state school. It all comes down to money, because college is expensive.
Yeah.
So I could do an in-state program at the Guthrie program, or because my dad was a professor, I had tuition exchange. So the Hart School was free tuition for me, which was a huge blessing. Mm-hmm. So I ended up going to the Hart School because it was a musical theater program. I wanted to learn how to sing and dance correctly. And I wanted to be closer to New York. So I ended up going there. And I loved my teachers there, and I loved my classmates. And we just had a reunion last week, which was so much fun.
Well, what was the first kind of big move you made to get to New York, or being in New York to get you onto stage?
Well, in college, I did summer stock 2 summers in Cape Cod. And after the summer after I graduated, I finished that summer being like, I want to move to New York. I don't know how. And it was, 2 weeks. The season was ending. What was I doing with my life? So my best friend and I, we hung out on Cape Cod for a little bit. We did a road trip, and then we finally moved to New York in October of that year. And all of our friends moved at the same time. So we had a support system here. And I knew a casting director who had directed at that summer stock program. And he asked me to be his reader when I came to New York. So then I became a reader, which I still do to this day. And it's how I've gotten most of my jobs.
Whoa. Okay.
Yeah.
Wait. I knew you were an audition reader, but I didn't know you still do it.
I still do it.
And wait, so because you're reading for the auditions, is that the reason you know about the auditions? Or is the casting director like, wait a second, I don't care about anybody else across the table. I want this girl who's sitting next to me.
It's not necessarily the casting. The casting director, I mean, he met me in like 2012, I think. So I've been his reader for a very long. This is Jim Carnahan. I've been his reader a very long time. This is a different casting director than the one I worked with in Summer Stock. But I like to think he trusts me. He knows what I can do. So he will often call me and say, do you want to audition for this show? Or do you want to be the reader for the show? The vibe in the room is they're looking for good people to work with. So it might be easier for you to hang out in the room with them for a week and they'll get to know who you are. And then I can subtly mention she is available. But sometimes I'll just audition. So I think he trusts me. So it's just the director saying, what about her? So
what's one of the worst, no, don't name names, but what's one of the worst things that you've seen someone or been in the room to see someone do during an audition?
I don't remember what the show was, and I don't remember who came in, but an actor came in and sort of mimed a room. Like we were all in the room, but there was clearly furniture in this person's mind and trinkets and things all over the place. And they focused way more on the room that they have created than the scene that was being played. And it was so weird. I remember once he just like bent down and did this, and we were like, what is he seeing?
Bending down and flicking your finger. What are you turning off a light switch?
It felt like it was a trinket that spun. I don't know. That's what I saw.
Weird.
But there's that. People do weird things. The casting directors have had to put signs outside the door that say, do not touch the reader. I have a friend who's a reader who's in an audition.
They may bite.
The actor auditioning removed the reader's belt. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I have reader friends who've been kissed. I've been patted pretty firmly on the head, on the chest. My hand has been kissed. Don't touch the reader. You can do it without touching the reader. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, usually you're just like sitting down kind of off to the side, like sort of within the eye line of the camera if they're recording it, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Not always. The camera's been added in the last like 6-7 years, but
sure. But to touch a reader, period,
who you don't know.
And who you don't know, who you haven't cleared it with, and like to be touched in places that you shouldn't be touching your friends.
Yep. Actors are weird.
Actors are weird.
Yeah.
I'm glad you are one. I guess, yeah.
But there are things, like there's exciting things. I've heard very famous actors, Broadway singers, crack in auditions. And what makes them really cool is how they handle that crack. Because they're like, it's 10:30 in the morning.
Yeah, of course.
And they're so chill about it. They know it's not going to ruin the audition. Because nobody cares. Nobody cares that you cracked.
That's probably the best thing I've heard in 10 years.
Yeah. Nobody cares that you forgot your line. Nobody cares. It's how you handle that people care.
We're going to take a quick break for a few commercials. All right, everyone. Welcome back to the episode. I auditioned for something recently myself and just was so nervous. First time I ever took a beta blocker. and went in there and I was like, am I going to crack? It's high, but I'm not like, what if I forget my lines? I should be off foot. And then like after it was all done, like going into it, I was like, I got this. And then after it was all done, I was like, man, I knew I had it. And then during the whole process, just everything out the window.
Yeah.
Sucks.
I know. I know.
Totally so. But okay,
I
so
know.
seeing like
I
big
call
name,
that like a panic belt. I go into an audition and I have practiced not belting. And then I go in and I'm like, I gotta be loud. Then I'm not great at it. So
yeah.
my panic belt.
Oh, yeah. Jesus.
Yeah.
Well, as long as the you don't remove the reader's panic belt, we're okay.
There you go.
So how did you find the audition for Harry Potter? Was that sort of one of these moments, or
Kinda, yeah.
Yeah.
Way back in 2017, Jim Carnahan called me and said, okay, we're casting Harry Potter. There's kind of parts for you in it, but there aren't really parts for you in it. But like, I think there's a track you could audition for. Do you want to audition for that track and do just like a 5-minute audition? Or do you want to be the reader? And I said, I'll be the reader. So I was the reader for Harry Potter year 1.
Huh.
Yeah. Long time ago.
So you were reading with the original cast.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
2017. Yep. Then I was the reader for Harry Potter year 2.
But wait, well, did they do the audition in 2 parts over 2 days?
Oh, that process took months. So
they just give you 2 different sides.
Yeah,
2 different days.
Many sides. There were so many sides. I have like coming to this process now. Because we have a different version of the script, and so I'm like, oh yeah, I remember that line. So sometimes when an actor who's been in the show for a while accidentally says an old line, I'll be like, yeah, I know that line. It's from one of those audition sides.
Well, they still do the 2-part version in London.
Yeah, they
right?
do.
Yeah. And here in
Yeah.
Broadway, they've shortened it.
Yes.
And now it's just under 3 hours, I believe.
Yes, it is.
Which is incredible. Were you part of that, the shortening process?
The shortening. Well, it was first shortened post-pandemic.
Right.
So when they came back, they shortened it to about 3.5 hours. And then they shortened it to just under 3 for the tour production.
Just under 3. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. That makes sense. Because if you're on, yeah, okay.
And
then,
so in 2018, I was brought in to audition for a different role on the tour. No, for San Francisco. And I didn't get it. I did get down to finals. I saw the girl who got it. I was her reader at one point. I was like, oh, she's great. Like, I get it. Which is kind of nice to be in the room and see other people audition and be like, oh, I get why I didn't get it.
Yeah.
And Jim wrote me a really nice email that said, you're a too young Ginny. So post-pandemic, I was like, I've lived. I think I'm old enough.
My soul is ancient.
I think I'm old enough to play a mom now.
Yeah.
So, and here we are.
Well, okay. And so you were auditioning part of the first bit. So, and between shows then, like, I wouldn't call it a survival job. I guess maybe it is a survival job.
Yes, but it's a fun survival job. It's not going to pay for my life, but it gives me connections.
Sure.
That I survive off of.
Sure. I just think that's really cool to be able to stay connected to the industry in a way where you're seeing the production side and the onstage side, right? So you're interfacing with these actors. You're seeing what works. I think it would be just this incredible opportunity, learning opportunity, because you get to work with, or you get to see all these different choices, all these bold moves that people are making, some great, some not so great if they're miming little trinkets.
Yeah.
And then you don't even have to ask why or why not, because you can see the finished result of what gets chosen.
Well, also, I'm in the room often when we're in auditions, the director sometimes isn't really focused on that show yet because they might be working on another production. So sometimes they don't know what they want when the auditions are happening.
Huh.
So they're figuring it out while auditions are happening. Sometimes.
Sure.
Sometimes directors are really prepared and they know what they want, but not always. But also what I like is that I'm in the room hearing the direction. So I don't get directed as a reader, usually. Every once in a while, they'll give me something. But I have learned how to help the actor auditioning by hearing the direction that they've been given.
Yes.
So it's an acting exercise every time.
What is your background ultimately with the Harry Potter lore outside of just starting to read with
I believe I
2017
was gifted the first 3 books for Christmas, I think in like 99. And I was around the same age as Harry at that time. I loved them. Well, I loved them. And then I went to every book release party at Barnes & Noble. Even in
R.I.P.
college, the last one came out. I know. Well,
R.I.P.
Barnes and Noble's still
R-
around, isn't it? Supporters is gone.
Yeah,
They're dying. I know.
Virgin Records.
I know. Oh man.
Blockbuster. What else? What else don't
There's
we
one
have?
in Alaska. So like I went to the last one in college, the last book release. Then I went to the midnight movie releases. I'm more of a fan of the book. I think the movies are great. They're limited. You can't put everything in there. So
Yeah.
it's just a different form. So yeah, I have been a fan for a very long time. I knit. One year I knit all my best friends a Weasley sweater because I'm a Weasley. Oh, yeah.
Like, what about the scarf? The big.
No, I haven't done the scarf. I could. That's easy. Scarves, I could do a scarf. I don't. That's
Well, you
not
need to add that to your resume.
Yeah.
Like, so like also knitting Weasley scarves.
I can do that. Knit some
Yeah.
Weasley scarves.
Yeah, right.
I've had
Uh,
all
so
of it.
okay, and then the audition comes. All of a sudden, you're freaking out because, like, oh my god, one of my favorite things ever is now in the words are in my mouth.
Yeah.
And then I guess when you see the finished product, though, this is 2017, 2018. You see the finished product, and what was sort of I guess seeing this prequel, right? This is a prequel to the books and the story.
This is a sequel.
Oh, sorry, sequel.
Yeah,
Sorry.
yeah.
Sorry. This is a sequel to the story that we know. This is
Yeah.
what, 16, how many years after the last movie does this take place?
I think it's 19.
Ish. Yes, because the Albus is,
Harry is 37
And
in
Al-
the first scene.
I mean, Albus is old enough to be, I guess they're in high school.
Albus is 11 in the first scene, but the majority of the play, Harry is 40 and
Sure.
Albus is 14.
Okay. Yeah. So
Yeah.
that's like, that's that age where you're trying to figure yourself out. And
Yeah.
the feedback what kind of feedback are you getting from the fans? Because this is one of those shows that no matter what language you speak, no matter what country you come from, like you come and you don't see this show and not have heard of this show.
Yeah.
So people come with
and not have heard of
expectations.
the IP. I mean, there's a lot of people who come to Stage Door, and I feel very lucky that people come and say, "You're the book, Ginny," and I'm like, "That's what I'm trying to do." So that's a really nice thing to hear. A lot of people have come and they're like, "I don't know anything about Harry Potter, but this was a really good show, and I want to come back." Some people come, and I'm like, "Who's your favorite character?" And they're like, "Oh, I love Myrtle. Scorpius is my favorite." There's just so many. The fans are lovely. We get artwork. People give us artwork of our characters. It feels really nice to have a fan base for this product that we just get to be a part of. It's not something we've created, but I feel very supported. Yeah.
Well, there's the characters that everybody knows, like Ginny and Harry and Ron, and so there are expectations that you have that are had of you, and I think that is a really, really good. That people are like, "You're the book, Ginny."
Yeah.
Like this, they are exactly coming in with a picture in their mind, and you are that picture they've already painted.
Right. And
That's
I think the movies did Ginny wrong. I don't blame the actress. I don't think they gave her enough to do. It wasn't written well for Ginny.
Mm-hmm.
But they had a lot to do. So I understand that they had to make some choices of what they were going to. But so I feel very honored to be told that I'm the book Ginny.
And then there's
That's what I
now
try and do.
new characters like
Yeah.
Albus and Scorpius. There's this next generation of people that are that are continuing the lore. And I've talked with some of the actors, your fellow actors that are playing these characters already, and it's so cool to me how everybody they've got their own following, their own kind of fan base.
they
Like
do,
every
yeah.
character has a little set of people that just latch onto them,
Yeah.
right? So, like for you, then, what type of person latches onto the Ginny? Who is a Ginny stan?
I mean, I would say like a young me, like young women who maybe they desired something from a very young age and they worked for it really hard and they got it.
Fair.
Or they keep trying. I mean, someone at the stage door said, "My dog is named after you." And I was like, "Sarah?"
yeah. I was like, excuse me?
You named your dog Sarah? It's a common name, but yeah.
And they go, what?
So there are a lot. Just trying to make jokes. But they It's typically young women, or even women my age and old. I mean, it's typically women.
And do you have? I mean, you're very like. Just you feel like you have a light personality and you're fun to talk to and you're very smiley
and really hard at that.
And so Ginny is like this role in the show is heavy and the subject matter is heavy and like it's very emotionally taxing. So what are you doing as Sarah to come back, like switch into Ginny during the show and then come back and be Sarah when it's all done? Because even when it was longer, it's still long now, but it used to be longer, right?
Yeah.
So you're diving into this for so long.
In the final scene, Harry says to Albus, he describes Ginny, and he says Ginny is bold, fierce, and funny. So that's my guide throughout the whole show, is to be bold, fierce, and funny. Now, the show starts happy. So I pretty much can just enter the show as me. I don't feel like I have to drop into like an emotional character to start the show. And then as the show happens, acting 101. I just try to live truthfully in the given circumstances. So it is, because I'm experiencing the scenes as they happen, it does feel just kind of natural to act the way that she is.
Is it draining? Like at the end of the day, do you have fuel left in the tank?
I would say in rehearsal, it's draining because you're like trying to find the truth of it over and over and over again. You're doing these scenes over and over, just like crying, and you're like, yeah, we can do it again. No, it's fine. I can start over from crying. Yeah. Rehearsal is harder. Now that we do it all the time, it's less draining because I know how the show ends and we get to do the ending every time. And no, I don't really get a release. Ginny doesn't really get a release at the end, but like Harry and Albus do. But I can believe that it's there.
And you get to like make fire and shoot shit.
I do. Yeah. I have a lot of magic tricks.
I know there's tons of illusions. I'm
so
impressed
many
with
illusions.
It. What and how many? Let's see. Your stuff. How many like levels deep in redundancy contingency plans are there for some of these things?
There's so many.
Yeah,
there are so many, and like I don't think I know all of them. I'm just gonna have to wait until a stage manager is like, "This is what you're gonna do. Do it right now." Okay. Yeah.
Be like, take away your wand. Here's a rock.
Yeah. Exactly. Okay.
Yeah. Good. This is now the world we live in because the wands are all broken.
Yeah.
Wands are all broken. Throw a rock and it's gonna shoot fire. Good.
Exactly.
Good.
But
Yeah.
it's not. I mean, luckily we haven't had to do too many contingencies. But
everything seems pretty solid.
Heard some good stories about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, let's see. So you've been in the role since November 24, right? Is that right?
Yeah.
So how many? Let's see. You've done probably 100-something shows.
I've done about 160 shows.
Yeah. I mean, that's a good number of shows for things to go wrong. And if things haven't, then I think testament to the crew and the stage and like everybody back there that's making it all happen.
It's a well-oiled magical machine. Yeah. There's a lot of people working on this show. And most of them backstage have been there since the beginning.
Really?
Like,
I guess,
a lot of them have.
Wow.
Yeah.
How ironclad is your NDA?
So tight.
Yeah.
I signed one. I'm not supposed to say it. I signed one back in 2017.
Really?
Because I heard secrets. Well, that's when the party line was keep the secrets.
Yeah.
So we kept all the secrets.
Well, I can guess how some things work, but I still don't know specifically how things work.
A story that Eric Peterson likes to say is he was leaving the theater. I'm going to butcher this. He tells it funnier than I do. But he was leaving the theater and he was walking behind this kid and her presumable dad. And the kid was asking, like, how did they do all that? And the dad said, got to be drones. So there's that option.
I'll go with drones. The polyjuice transformation, definitely drones.
Yeah.
That's gotta be drones.
They take polyjuice, and so they do turn into the other actor.
That's more reasonable than drones.
It happened. I mean, of course, it's magic. They taught us how to do it.
Fair.
Yeah.
You actually, yeah.
We went to Hogwarts. My company management email to welcome me to the first rehearsal said, "Welcome to Hogwarts." It's a little different than an owl letter, but I'll take it.
Well, that's how you got the audition notice, right?
Yeah, well, kind of. Well, for this time around, I know the casting director so well So Alexander, who's also a casting director on this, emailed me, and I was out of town. I was on a big trip, and he emailed me and said, "When are you back in New York?" And I was like, "Nah, I think I'll be blah 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 blah." And he goes, "We're holding auditions for a new Ginny for Broadway." And I was like, "Okay, I'll be there. I'm coming. I'm coming." So my mom bought me a flight. I came. I did it. Weeks later, I had a call back, and they tell me in the room that I got it.
So cool.
Yeah, that was really cool.
And then they threw an owl at you.
Yeah.
Yeah, here.
Exactly.
And then you go, who did that?
Yes, exactly.
Hey,
exactly.
buzzing! All right,
Got it.
so we'll be right back after this. Hey there, welcome back to the episode. Little game now as we wind down to the end of the episode is called Plot in 60 Seconds.
Okay, yep.
You're going to give me a number that is 1 through 16. I have a list of 16 popular musicals, and then depending on what you pick, you give me the plot to that musical in 60 seconds or less.
Okay, I feel like my degree is going to be challenged.
There you
I
go.
have a degree
All
in
right.
musical theater.
1 through 16, what you got?
1 through 16, 15.
15 is Avenue Q. Go.
60 seconds.
Avenue Q is a parody on Sesame Street. It has lots of humans and lots of puppets, and it's kind of dirty. There's some funny songs, like Everyone's a Little Bit Racist, which I agreeable. And so there's
45
Purpose. That's a
seconds
beautiful
remaining.
song. And it's monsters and humans, and aren't we all a little bit of a monster and a little bit of a human? I'm not doing 60 seconds. That's all I got.
I just don't, you're not doing plot either, if I'm being
Plot,
honest.
I mean, the plot.
30 seconds remaining.
There's a puppet. They're in love with another puppet. There's neighbors.
Quick, give me your safety belt. Safety belt.
I don't know a lot of it. I've seen
All
it.
right.
I saw it.
We'll pause it there. Yeah. So let's see. The premise is to figure out who you are, and maybe there's some oboe kissing in there. I don't know.
Yeah.
There's some things. There's some things in there. That's fine.
I'm a reader. I'm a reader. That's what I do. I read for a job. I can read.
All right. The 3 standard closing questions I use to wrap up every episode. The first one simply is, what motivates you?
The first thing that came to mind is joy.
The musical?
No, not about a mop. It's just to find joy in,
I like that.
Yeah, in anything. And
I like
even
that.
like being an actor and like feeling feelings can be joyful.
Even if they're bad feelings. I agree with that.
Even
Just
if they're bad,
feeling.
it
Just
feels like you're like
feeling.
washing yourself when you have like a deep cry. So, but that can be
Yeah.
joyful later. It feels good.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
What advice would you give to your younger self and younger people listening now, starting out down a similar path?
I mean, I want to say something like, don't judge yourself too harshly, but also if you're an actor, figure out why the words are what they are that you're saying and make them sound like yours.
I like that. All right. Now, if you could only see one show for the rest of your life, but you can see it as many times as you want, what would you see?
Oh, I mean, I want to cheat and do like an improv show because it would be different every time.
That's fair. Freestyle Love Supreme. We'll go with that one.
Oh, yeah, that was a good show.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
That's very good. I went back several times for that exact reason.
Just because I want variety.
Yeah.
Because life is variety.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The spice of life is variety and feelings. Okay, where can we connect with you online? Where do you play social media games?
I am on Instagram at Rhymes with Pillow, because that's my last name, Pillow. I mean, I'm on TikTok, but I don't do anything. I just, creep on things. I don't
Fair.
post anything.
Fair.
Same thing. I think it's at Rhymes with Pillow. I'm mainly just on Instagram. Yeah.
Same, but I'm there. I'm everywhere.
Yeah.
I'm on Threads, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. I really I'm trying to get a lot better about posting, but okay.
Yeah. I guess I'm on Facebook, but I've set up too many security things on there that I can't access it. I think I'm getting a little old for that. So
Yeah. Or you're too young still. It's
in the
mostly my
middle
parents'
somewhere.
generation.
yeah, they're still on there.
Yeah. Oh, they're definitely still on there. That's part of why I stopped checking notifications on Facebook regularly.
Yeah, I don't do that.
Okay,
But Instagram.
so leave a rating and a review wherever you're listening now. It helps the podcast grow. You can actually leave comments now on Spotify. Guess what? Didn't know if you knew that. Thanks to Jukebox the Ghost for the intro and outro music, and Sarah Killough, rhymes with pillow. Thanks so much for this lovely conversation.
This was a great conversation. Thank you.
Take a deep breath, make the world a little colorful.